Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 20 July 2023. It's Thursday night. It's 9 o'clock. It's time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel. And a knife sale we shall have. Before we get into the meat of it, let's do a little bit of housekeeping as usual. First off, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment. I will print them also in the description underneath this video, so you can peruse them at your leisure. Also, in the description under this video, at the very top, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on the channel. The first is entitled A Primer for Buyers. That is a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. So if you're new to this weekly event, please give that a watch. It'll explain how we do things and why, and it'll make your purchase experience go much more smoothly. The second link is pertinent if you are a potential consignor who wants to move along some of your collection. It's called FAQs for Consignors, and it explains how this all works from the consignor's perspective. The third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the ApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So in the all-important video description at the top, you'll see those 3 links. In the middle, the terms of the sale, and at the bottom, the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left, pricing on the right. You will generally see 2 numbers in the pricing column. The one on the left is the price of your knife as shown in the video. The one on the right, the price of your knife as sharpened by the ApostleP Knife Service. There will be next day sharpening for the first 4 knives purchased to be sharpened tonight. Those will ship tomorrow, Friday the 21st, with all of the as shown inventory. If you fall outside that first 4, no worries. Your knife will ship in 3 weeks, maybe a little less. If you see the word sold in lieu of pricing in that far right column, that means the knife you're looking at has been bought and paid for by its new owner. No need to send an inquiry or an I'll take it about anything marked sold, because that's a fait accompli. Okay, I think that's about it for the terms, or for the housekeeping, I should say. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you, and then we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? Let's see, we've just got 2 leftovers from last week. Both knives. The first one is from the Maxace Knives Company, and it is the MRK-05 Rock. Pretty handsome blade and a big blade. Got some chunk to it. So you are looking at a titanium handle with some shred carbon fiber scales, gear pattern titanium backspacer with a lanyard loop, a right hand tip up clip, and it is a flipper on ball bearings. Blade steel is M390, 3 13/16 inches of it. A Persian profile, gorgeous swedge, beautiful blade actually. The handle is 5 3/8 inches in length. It is a stainless steel liner lock. If you notice, just the bolsters are titanium. And it does have, as we showed last week, a little bit of lock slip. So it doesn't release, it doesn't even come close to it, but there is a little slippage. Other than that, it operates perfectly. and the centering is perfect. We'll call it like new in box. These are out of stock at all internet retailers I could find. They were $178 when they were available. We ran this last week for $130, then dropped it to $110 for the weekend. This week, let's do $95, and then $125 if you'd like it with an ApostleP edge. That's the Maxace MRK05 Rock. Next up, a discontinued and significant Benchmade. It is the 928 Proxy, but it's an S model, which means it has the combo edge, which means if you like that, you're going to get a heck of a buy, because most people don't. Here we go. Big knife. Kind of a flat dark earth scale, which is kind of Strider-esque. The backspacer is integral to the scale. Makes it very light for its size. You've got a titanium frame with a titanium liner lock. It does have Benchmade's monolock system, but it's not affected by the stop pin. It's affected by the lock bar insert. It is a hex with differing distances from center for each facet, so you can orient it so that it locks up where you want it. This one locks up pretty early, which is the setting I would suggest, because the lock ramp on the tang is very steep and radiused, so it flattens out at that leading edge, which gives you super solid lockup. Your 20 CV blade, combo edge. Now this one does have a pretty doggone nice polished edge, so I'm not going to even offer a sharpened price on this one. The clip, of course, is tip-up ambidextrous, and it's a polished split arrow. It flips great. The centering is close, but I believe it favors the left as you're looking at it just a little bit. We'll call this excellent in box. They're discontinued. They're out of stock. I found one sold listing. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a current listing on eBay. That's a buy it now for $325. We offered this one last week at $260. It didn't sell. We dropped it to $235. Let's go $200 on the Benchmade 928S Proxy. No need to sharpen. All right, next on to the fresh stuff, and we're going to start it with some watches. The first one, if you are a youngish boomer or an oldish Xer, you're going to appreciate this. It's from Casio Vintage Collection, and the watch inside the box is the A1000MA-7VT SLVR. It's your classic Casio square. So it's got the 3479 module, just your basic functions. 37 millimeters wide, 39 lug to lug, 7.5 thick, and the lug width is 18 millimeters. Comes on the factory Casio mesh, which operates pretty standardly. You just hook it, you just hook it, you hook it, and then you flip it down. And you adjust it by sticking a small screwdriver in there and flipping up the tab, and then you can slide that keeper anywhere you like. The dial is a beautiful brushed silver under the crystal, and then that matches the top of the bezel. Pretty cool. It's got the illuminator backlight. We'll call it near mint in box, and these are selling online at prices ranging between $90 and $120. This one can be yours, $50. No need to sharpen. The Casio Vintage in silver. Next, we had this watch in a different color last week, and I saved this one for this week. It's a G-Shock. And the watch inside the box, as per this hang tag, is the GA-2110ET-8DR. You guys know this as the CasiOak. This one in gray. Pretty cool. It's an Anadigi display running the 5811 module. Gray case and strap. Notice there is a little contrast in the gray. So your day of the week is that sort of 9 o'clock subdial. running seconds in the digital and the date in the digital display. Then the hour and minute hand. Beautiful markers. Resin strap. Let's see, this one is going to be near mint to like new in box. They sell regularly for 99 bucks web retail. How about 50 bucks for this one? Same price we sold the white one for last week. Maybe a little more versatile color in gray. That's the G-Shock GA2110 ET8DR CasiOak. And our third watch and the last one for tonight, I think is kind of cool. It is from Certina. Comes in a big heavy box, not particularly ornate. And here's your hang tag. I can get the thread out of the way. So the reference number is C032.407.11.51.00. It is the DS Action Diver in black on bracelet. So Certina is an old brand, now part of the Swatch group. So if you're interested, I think Certina kind of lies in the Swatch lineup below Hamilton and about in the same range as Tissot, maybe a little less expensive even than the Tissots. And where you're going to see that is going to be on the case finishing. Vertical brushing on the sides of the case, aluminum bezel insert, split pin bracelet, but all solid links. It works quite well. Nice clasp, milled internals, and I believe that might all be milled. And so you've just got your double pusher to open, and then you've got a ratcheting bracelet extension. So let's say inky flat black dial, flat sapphire crystal. AR coating looks to be, meh. Aluminum bezel insert. The bezel is 60 clicks. Unidirectional. It's a little sloppy, but it does line up. You've got loomed embossed markers, loomed hands, and then a little loom plop in that red seconds hand. Let's see, 43 diameter, 51 lug to lug, 13.5 thick, 22 millimeter lugs, and 300 meters of water resistance. You have a nice turtle on the case back, not an open case back. Screw down case back, screw down crown, of course. Let's see, how's it running? Pretty doggone good. I set this about 24 hours ago, and it looks like it's lost about 5 seconds sitting crown up in 24 hours, so pretty good. It's running the ETA modified 2824, so it is a Powermatic 80 movement, which gives you the 80 hours of power reserve. It is near mint in box, a couple very light desk diver scratches. These are out of stock in this colorway. The lowest web retail price I found was at Joma Shop. When they were available, they were $5.95. I saw one recent sold listing on eBay at $5.45. Let's do this one at $3.50. 350 bucks to get you into a squared away Swiss-made dive watch with 300 meters of water resistance and a great movement. My experience with the Powermatic 80 series of movements is that they keep great time. And they're pretty doggone durable. So that's the Certina DS Action Diver. Next up, let's get on to the knives, shall we? First up, let's go to Golden, Colorado, USA Earth. The knife inside is the Yojumbo in black. Let's call it murdered, shall we? So, rare for Spyderco, we have the Cold Steel-esque coarse textured black G10, all black hardware, black clip, and a DLC blade in S30V. Blade length on the Yojumbo a full 4 inches, And then 5 5/16 inches of handle. Compression lock that looks like it's the pivot seems to be adjusted very well. Blade is very close to perfect in centering. Lockup, rock solid. Condition on this one, we'll call it near mint in box. I think I saw a little scuff on the clip, maybe right there. Other than that, pretty doggone new. Very slight edge wear. Current MAP price, minimum advertised pricing for this at your favorite online retailer will be $234. Sold listings for used Yojumbos on eBay between $180 and $200. Let's do $170 on this one. $195 with an ApostleP edge. Spyderco Yojumbo murdered. Next up, I think I teased you guys about this one yesterday. If you're looking for a large K390 lightweight Spyderco, I got you covered. Here you go. This is the Plice 4 FRN. And when you see the teal blue scales, you know that it's going to have a K390 blade, and it does. And this one has been in the vinegar bath. It's got a little force patina. There's your K390 on the Ricasso. So it's going to be a little more rust resistant than it would have in its original form. Heck, if you don't like it, give it a fresh satin. What the heck? So 4 7/16 inches of K390. A 5 5/16 handle. Or I'm sorry, 5 5/8 inch handle. I can make this, it's got a little vertical play. Side to side is dead solid. It's got a little vertical play where the tooth interfaces with the tang blade. Nice free action. Centering is off to the right. It is wearing a KC Lynch Shorty deep carry titanium clip. Now, just in case you're wondering, it shouldn't have a shorty. It should have the long clip so it gets to the flat. That's going to be a pocket shredder. However, I got you covered because the original clip is in the box, I believe. Let me make sure of that. Oh, there's no box. So you're going to have to supply your own Spidey clip if that bothers you. Okay. Let's see what we're going to say here. I'm going to say excellent, no box. So map price for these brand new is $176. Sold listings on eBay are between $130 and $150. This one, $110 like it is, $140 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Spyderco Plice 4 FRN Teal K390. Next up, it's time for a Kershaw from Oregon, USA. And the knife inside is a Launch 5 in OD green. We got an Emerson designed Kershaw Launch. Gorgeous OD green, hard anodized aluminum handle. Beautiful sort of feather pattern. Integral lanyard loopage, I believe. Is that right? Yes. So those two holes go through. This is wearing an ambidextrous tip-up titanium aftermarket clip. The original butter knife clip in black is in the box. Out of that gorgeous handle comes this blade. Beautiful Emerson design clip point, stonewash CPM 154, 3 3/8 inches in length. The handle's 5 1/8. It is, as you saw, a button lock automatic. Rock solid lockup. Nice deployment. And there is your Emerson design maker's mark. I'm going to say near mint to like new in box. Action, centering, lockup, all perfect. These are out of stock. When they were available, they were $120 web retail. My consignor thought maybe he could get $170 for this. I don't think so. I've never seen a launch do over original web retail, but this might be the most desirable launch there is. Let's do $110 like it is. $135 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Kershaw Launch 5. Next up, our first of 2 Protechs in tonight's sale. You get that new style Protech box, which is super cool. Inside, from James Yeager's Tactical Response, we have a TR3. And what a beauty. Oh, man. That handle. Oh, that handle. I see a little less George here. I don't know. So you got a 4 5/8 black hard anodized aluminum handle. You've got a long Protech clip in bead blasted stainless steel. You've got a button lock automatic that fires just like a Protech. It's 154 cm bead blasted. 3 3/8 blade, 4 5/8 handle. Rock solid lockup. Heavy spring, perfect centering, and thwack. We'll call it near mint inbox. These are out of stock when they were available at a web retail of $175 and you can't buy a new one. Let's do $155 like it is. $180 with an ApostleP edge. A Protech TR3. Next up, it's time to go back to Oregon. Oregon City to be exact. We got a black class Benchmade. It is the 273BK-2201 Mini Adamas. This was the Blade 2022 special edition, limited edition, I guess. You've got the burgundy scales. You've got the black Parkerized deep carry clip that'll be ambidextrous tip up. You've got a dark gray or black Cerakote finish on a CPM Crewwear blade. The Shane Sibbert design, beautiful, beautiful drop point, big swedge, nice fuller, long thumb studs. Still have that heavy Adamas hardware. Lockup is rock solid. Action is super nice. Centering is perfect. So you got a 3 1/4 blade, a 4 1/2 handle, and this has a user-applied convex edge, and it's really pretty doggone nice and very refined. I am going to give you a sharpened price just in case you don't like convex edges, but you should. So we'll call it used and sharpened, very little use. Near mint inbox. These are discontinued and out of stock. eBay sold listings vary wildly between $204 and $315. We sold a knife just like this a month ago, except it had not been sharpened, and that was $210. Let's do $195 on this one. $220 if you'd like it with an ApostleP edge. That's the Benchmade 273BK-2201 Mini Adamas. Next up, this is probably the knife that excited me the most as I prepared for the sale. It's another black class Benchmade, which is interesting that it's a black class. It's called the 290BK-1 Full Immunity. The Full Immunity. Why do I think it's strange that it's a black class? Because it sure looks like a gents folder to me. Small little knife. It is scaled in that beautiful sort of diamondback milled pattern, hard anodized aluminum in bronze. Gorgeous. All black hardware except the bronze standoffs. You've got a Parkerized shorty deep carry clip that'll be ambidextrous tip up. A nice factory tied lanyard with a bead to match. Axis lock mechanism. And a Wharncliffe blade in black Cerakote in CPM M4. How cool is that? Yeah, 2 1/2 inch blade, 3 7/16 handle, and it's a short knife, and it's kind of finger grooved, and man, my hand lays in there perfectly. The pinky will hang out off the back, thus the lanyard. That looks like maybe a 3/32 blade, nice and skinny, high grind, M4 steel. Yeah. Rock solid lockup, super free blade. perfect. Centering condition is near mint to like new in box. MAP pricing or web retail for this knife is $270. Let's do this one at $230 like it is. $260 with an Apostle PH. Save me from myself, boys. That's the Benchmade full immunity. Next up, another Benchmade. It is a blue class knife. It's a Bugout I have never seen. It's the 535 FE-05 Bugout. Cool coloration, I think. Dark blue handle. Parkerized shorty, deep carry clip, ambidextrous tip up. Flat dark earth Cerakoted blade in S30V. Rock solid lockup. Not quite a free dropper, but few Bugouts are because the blade is so light, but you can flick it in. Centering on this one is dead down the middle. Lockup's perfect. We'll call it near mint in box. MAP price on this model is $170. Let's do this one at $140 like it is. $165 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Benchmade 535 FE-05 Bugout. Next up, another Benchmade I've never seen. And it's really cool, and I'm going to show you why. If you are a guy who loves knives because they really cut well, you're going to love this knife. It's from the Hunt series, and it is the 15535 Taggedout. So if you take off the 15, which designates the Hunt series, what's the rest of the model number? 535, and then the name ends in out. Do we see a family resemblance? Well, kind of, because it actually didn't come with those black G10 scales. It came with orange grivery, but it's wearing some G10 by Flytanium. Here's the knife. This thing has been beautifully modded. You guys know Flytanium makes awesome scales. And then the bright hardware has been replaced with blue anodized titanium screws, still wearing the orange anodized aluminum standoffs, Parkerized deep carry clip. Oops. I'll learn how to do this at some point. It's got an opening hole. It's a hunting knife. Not a great flicker. Blade is CPM 154. 3 7/16 inches in length. The handle is 4 11/16. Lots of real estate for your hand, even in gloves. It's got a gorgeous clip point blade, a big long clip, and a nice swedge interior. Check it out. 90 thousandths stock, 3/32 with a very high grind. In fact, it is a full flat grind. Oh, what a slicer. Oh my. My digital caliper tells me sub 20 thousandths behind the edge. Just a guess, but I bet it is. That thing will cut. Let's see. Lock up rock solid. Blade's nice and free. Centering is very close to perfect. If not perfect, I think it is perfect. So, MAP pricing on this knife with just the factory scales and screws is $180, and then you've probably got, I don't know, $50, $60, $70 in tasteful mods, high quality mods. So this seller probably has like 230, 240 bucks invested. Let's do it at $180, near mint in box, because of the mods. $205 if you'd like my edge on it. That's the Benchmade 15535 Taggedout with custom scales. Cool knife. Next up, we have one from Toor Knives. Cool logo. This is the Viper / Outlaw from Toor. Here we go. So as you can see, it's a ringtail. It comes in a beautiful brown textured Kydex sheath with a J-clip. Little spear point blade, saber ground. D2, 2 5/16 inches of blade, and then 4 1/8 inches of handle going to the back of the ringtail. The scales are milled ebony wood, thickish stock. These are made in the United States of America. This one is like new in the box. Web price of these brand new is $195. Let's do this one for $140 like it is. $165 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Toor Knives Viper Outlaw. Next up, we got another small fixed blade. And it's got goodies. In that bag, I have the slim tech lock, a lanyard, a couple Starlight mints, and a card, and a Band-Aid, and a sticker. It's from Night Elements. Here's the little knife. So you got a molded plastic sheath that will accept that slim tech lock. Fits nicely. Got sort of a black wash blade. An AUS 10A, 2 3/8 inches of harpoon clip point with a little recurve. OD green G10 handle scales, 2 7/8 long handle. It'll be a pinky hanging off the back knife, not a big deal. Fairly decent jimping, and then you've got the back of the harpoon to stop your thumb. It's like new in the box. Price of these brand new at your favorite web retailer will be $75. Let's do this one for $50 like it is. $75 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Night Elements Hummingbird. Next up, it is Columbia River knife and tool time on the ApostleP knife sale. Here's the first one. The knife in the box is the 7471 Ritual. This one in ivory and blue. Check this out, boys. Now, CRKT does not call this a micarta. They call it resin-infused fiber, which would be micarta. I don't know why they don't call it that, but anyhow, those scales are ivory. And then those blue anodized bolsters are stainless steel. You got a right-hand tip-up deep carry clip. It is a ball bearing flipper, but it also is an assisted opener. So it flings. Check that out, boys. That is some serious Persian going on. 12C27 blade, 4 3/8 inches long, 5 7/16 inches of handle. It's a stainless steel liner lock. Locks up beautifully. Ball bearing action is superb, and then we get to the spring. Centering is hard to see in there, but it's perfect. Cool knife. It's like new in the box. Web price retail is $84, brand new. This is like new in the box. Let's do it at $65 all in, shipped, priority mail. $90 if you like an ApostleP edge. That's the CRKT 7471 Ritual, and then it's going to say blue, ivory, satin. Why so specific? Because the next knife is another CRKT Ritual. It's the 7471K Ritual, and let's call this Murdered. Yeah. So we've got black, hard anodized. I don't know what the finish is. It's black on stainless steel. Black canvas micarta scales. That deep carry right hand tip up clip is black. Again, ball bearing flipper with a spring assist. Now the black version has a 14C28N blade, 4 3/8 inches long, 5 7/16 handle. Stainless steel liner lock, rock solid. Ball bearing action super free. Then the spring. Centering is down the middle. It is also like new in the box. This black Murdered model had a web retail of $110 when they were available. I couldn't find any in stock. Let's do this one for 85 bucks like it is. $110 if you'd like it with an ApostleP edge. The CRKT 7471K Ritual Murdered. Next up. Oh my gosh, it's our last CRKT. Here we go. The knife inside this box is a 2640 Clever Girl folder. Gotta turn the page. So, very interesting knife with an interesting mechanism. It is scaled in deeply 3D machined black G10. It has a shorty deep carry clip, tip up ambidextrous. It is a ball bearing flipper, and I have smuts on my blade. Somebody's greasy fingers touched that. Now this consignor had me sharpen this when he bought it brand new, so it's got a glinty blingy ApostleP edge. That's not, might be a little shiny spot in the coating. Anyway, so interesting, huh? To release the lock, you push what looks like the pivot and release. It's also got thumb studs that work better than I just showed you. D2 blade, 4 inches in length. The lock is called the deadbolt, by the way. Handle length 5 1/4. It is IKBS bearings, in case you're interested. It's got an ApostleP edge. It is near mint in box. Web price of these brand new is 140 bucks. Let's do on this one with my edge, 115. The CRKT 2640 Clever Girl, and then it'll say TAP because I have sharpened it. Next up, a Spyderco that you just don't see anywhere. It is the Carahawk. The Spyderco Carahawk, that I believe is a Seki City produced knife. So yeah, it is a ringtail hawkbill karambit with an Emerson wave opener. And yes, it is Seki City, Japan, designed by Sal Glesser. VG10 is your blade steel, and it is a boy dented midlock. It is rock solid. Nice free blade. The blade centering must be perfect because you can't see it, but I think it is. Then you've got that filled, the liners are filled with some kind of a black material. Let's see. I can't tell if that's G10 or FRN, doesn't really matter. Blade length on the Carahawk, 2 5/16. The handle is 4 5/8. So how would you carry that? Like that? Waveable, great self-defense knife. A gut ripper. Let's see. It is near mint in box. These are discontinued and out of stock. When they were available at a web retail of $204, and they're gone. Let's do this one at $165 like it is $195 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Spyderco Terrahawk. Next up, it's tops time. In fact, we're going to have a little fixed blade interlude for a while. The first is the Tops Moccasin Ranger. Of course, it comes in a Kydex sheath because it's a Tops. Well, not all do. It's got the lovely spinny metal clip. And then somewhere in there, there's a knife. Oh my. You have some beautiful crinkle click-coated 1095 with sort of a California clip. 6.5 inches of blade. Wearing a convex edge polished variety by the ApostleP Knife Service. So it will say TAP in your description. Behind that 6.5 inch blade is a 5 1/4 inch handle in black linen micarta with light gray liners. They might be white. Full 1/4 inch stock. Yeah. the Moccasin Ranger. So we're going to say it is near mint, no box. The only reason not like new is because it has a far better edge than it left the Topps factory with. So my seller would have paid 35 bucks to sharpen this, right? Web retail on this knife is $159, so that would have been $194 with sharpening. It can be yours for $135 shipped, priority mail. That is the Topps Moccasin Ranger. Great knife. Next up, it's another Topps. This one doesn't come with Kydex. It comes with the nylon sheath, moly attachable, the poly insert, the external pocket, nothing in there, no change or anything. Velcro cross straps. Here's the knife. This is known as the Topps US Combat Knife. Another clip point. It is a big flats, wedgy grinds, designed by Lassie Szabo. You guys will remember that name if you're Spyderco fans. This was also got black linen micarta. This one with orange liners. Got a little bow drill divot. Made in the United States. 1095 steel. 7.5 inches of blade. This is like a K-bar on steroids. 6 1/4 handle. 1/4 inch stock. A beautiful convex edge by the TheApostleP Knife Service. It'll cut you, I promise. Price of these brand new, and they are in stock, I believe, $190. Add $35 for sharpening. What does that get you? $225. Let's do $160, all in, shipped, priority mail. The Topps US Combat Knife with an TheApostleP edge. Ooh, what a beaut. Have somebody make you a nice Kydex sheath and you really have something. Okay, next up, man. This is the... No, it's not the Rob's Pick. That's coming up next, or in a little bit. Let's see, not the Rob's Pick. Maybe it should have been. I don't know. It is a Bark River in a big, long box. This is the Matt Martin designed Vehement Knives co-branded MACV-Recondo. Oh. Comes in the Jenna Martin design, or Skinbender Leatherworks design, black leather sheath. Couple cool features about Jenna's sheaths. The loop will split a belt loop so it does not move on your belt. How about that? And you don't need to take your belt off to put the knife on because it's got snaps. What's the other thing? What's the place that corrodes worse on a knife? Well, it would be the cross guard underneath the snap. Not on this one, because you have a flap protecting the knife handle. Brilliant. She's brilliant. And here's the knife. Are you freaking kidding me? Does anybody see a little Randall influence going on here? So you've almost got that Model 3 hump. Big swedge. And then look at that. Look how Matt did the tip for strength. That's so cool. Blade steel is CPM 154. Your blade length is 7 3/16. Your handle is 5 1/16, and it's got that finger groove sort of parachute handle that is decidedly Randall. Definitely a Matt Martin crossguard. You've got the brass pommel and crossguard lanyard hole, and then it is a stick tang with a nut. The handle is natural elder burl, no dye. Black and red spacers. Handle length 5 1/16. Oh, guys, what a knife! What a knife! We'll say it is near mint to like new in box. They're unobtainium, boys. Can't find them anywhere. None available new. None of them on eBay. If this was one of Matt's customs, it would be 4 figures. It's a Bark River, So it's $325 like it is, $360 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Bark River MACV-Recondo. Next up, I've never had one of these knives in my hand from this maker, and man, what a job do they do. From Rife Knives, made in the USA. So this is the F6 Luku in saber grind. It comes in a very, like a cordovan, fold over leather bushcraft style sheath with a fire steel loop. This one has been waxed for water resistance and wet formed. Inside is this beauty. So you got a 6-inch blade in CPM 3V saber ground. Pretty squared away factory edge. Kind of an acid stonewash finish. The handle is, what'd you call that? Coyote tan. 3D machine G10, kind of a blasted satin finish. Handle's 5 1/4. The stock is 3/16. A completely squared away American made fixed blade, and beautifully made, by the way. These are out of stock in this configuration. When it was available, it would have been $379 brand new. Let's do this one for $325 like it is. $360 with an ApostleP edge, and the knife is like new in the box. The Rife F6 Luku Saber Grind. Next up, we have the Rob's Pick in tonight's sale. So if you're watching this video after 9 o'clock on Thursday, you're seeing it for the first time because my early birds did not get a crack at this one this morning. It's a Bark River. It is a Bravo 1 LT in Magna cut, and it's rampless with tiger stripe G10. This sheath also has been waxed for water protection. Here's the knife. If I were going to own a Bravo 1, I would own a rampless LT because the stock thickness is just 5/32, and there doesn't need to be a ramp. I'm just saying. What's the blade steel? How about Magna cut? How about Magna cut? And there's your tiger stripe G10 handle with the Loveless Stewart awesomeness. Oh, it feels so good. Oh, it feels good. 4 5/16 inches of blade, 4 13/16 inches of handle. It's like new in the box. They're out of stock. When they were available, you would have paid a web retail of $320-ish. Let's do this one at $260 like it is $290 with an ApostleP edge. The Bark River Bravo 1 LT, the Rob's Pick tonight. Next up, in our final fixed blade tonight, it's from Tops, but it doesn't fit the profile of a Tops. Got a leather sheath, black with gorgeous red stitching, and the knife inside is this guy. Love the Made in Idaho etch. Now it's got sort of a Canadian hunter pattern. It's called the Tops Camp Creek, and this colorway is called the Fire Edition. You've got an S35 VN blade, 4 5/16 inches in length, kind of an acid stonewash or tumble over a bead blast. Pretty thin stock, like I think it's about 140 thousandths. Full flat ground, thin behind the edge. The handle is 3D machined, red G10 with thick black liners. Awesome in the hand. I mean, it's called a Camp Creek. That's an awesome camp knife. You could clean a deer. You could cut up your veggies. You could baton some wood. There's not much this knife won't do. 4 5/16 inches of blade, 4 15/16 inches of handle. like new, no box. They're out of stock at every web retailer I could find. They were $185 when they were available. Let's do $160 on this one. $185 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Tops Camp Creek Fire Edition. Very cool knife. Next up, we got a little run of arachnids coming up. Here's the first one, and I love this knife. You better hurry on this one, guys. Just, you better hurry. It is a Manix 2, and it says mint green plain CPM M4. So it's a Manix 2 lightweight with an M4 blade, but that's not mint green. My consignor has lovingly dyed this navy blue. Thank God. That mint green, I know I sell them, but it's freaking hideous. Look at that. That works, man. Gorgeous satin on the M4. Let me wipe this. Guys, if you've never worked with M4, you really don't know how much it hates to be ground. I mean, it freaking hates it. But look at that satin. Yeah. Golden, Colorado, USA, right here on the old earth. Rocking action, perfect lockup. Centering's dead down the middle. Ambidextrous tip-up wire clip. Oh, what a great knife to use. It's a Blade HQ exclusive, of course. We'll call it near mint in box, as dyed. These are out of stock. eBay sold listings with ugly mint green scales running between $150 and $180. Let's do this one at $135 like it is, $165 with an ApostleP edge. Do not wait or I will own it. Spyderco Manix 2 lightweight navy M4. Next up, we have another Spyderco, not from Golden. It's from China. It's a Tenacious. And it's a Tenacious with a combo edge. Yep, 8CR13 MOV blade, stainless steel liner lock, some combination of phosphor bronze and maybe nylon washers. Who knows what they're doing these days. Action's nice. Centering's pretty darn good. Lockup is rock solid. 3 3/8 inches of blade, 4 3/8 inches of handle. Yeah. It's been used or sharpened. Not very well, just saying. So I will give you a sharpened price. These sell for $60 at your favorite online retailer. Let's do this one at $40, like it is. $60 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Spyderco Tenacious. Next up, I need you to save me from myself again. You know, a black FRN Delica, yeah, meh, everybody's probably got one somewhere in a box, right? But you don't have this one. So on the box it says Delica Super Gold. Yeah. Delica Super Gold. So just a black handle. Now the factory clip is in the box, but this one is wearing a gold anodized, long, the right clip, Casey Lynch deep carry titanium clip, and the lock bar is also gold, anodized. The blade is laminated, SUS 410 on the outside, and then Kobe Super Gold, Japanese tool steel on the inside. So let's see, rock solid lockup, action, a little stiffish, but okay. Centering is dead. Condition, I'm going to say, is near mint in box. There are some fine scratches in the SUS 410 cladding that you'll always have just by using it once, but they're pretty small. In fact, I'm having a hard time finding them. So we'll call it near mint in box. The original clip is in the box, in case I forgot to mention it. These were a mass drop exclusive, believe it or not. They're out of stock. They were $179 at Mass Drop when they were new. Country had some at $145, but those are gone. There are none on eBay. This one you can buy for $110 with a Lynch clip, $135 with my edge. Spyderco Delica FFG Super Gold. Next up, another Spyderco, and we're going back home to Golden, Colorado, USA Earth. It's another Manix 2 lightweight, this one in dark blue, but we don't call it that, we call it Purple. And it has an S110V blade. So ambidextrous wire clip tip up, cages ball lock mechanism, S110V blade. This one has been given a sharpening choil, I gotta say rather ham-handedly. So yeah, if you want me to sharpen this, I will clean that up. It's got a user applied edge it's actually pretty sharp, but I'm going to give you a sharpened price just in case you want it. Let's see, lockup is dead rock solid, blade is a free dropper, centering is pretty much dead, condition, and we'll say excellent to near mint in box. These are now a regular production model for Spyderco. Map pricing, web retail is $182. Sold listings on eBay run between $120 and $160. Let's do $120 on this one, and then $150 if you want me to sharpen it and maybe clean that choil up a little bit. Spyderco Manix 2 lightweight Purple S110. Next up, another Spyderco, another golden Spyderco, meaning in Colorado. It's a pair of 3 blue FRN CPM Spy 27. There is your blue FRN handle. Volcano grip. Ambidextrous tip up, paperclip clip deep carry. Compression lock. Spy 27 blade. This is kind of a Sal steel, I believe. It's how he wanted it. Nitrogen rich, great edge holding, super rust resistant. Rock solid lockup. Almost a free dropper. Centering, it may favor the right ever so slightly. It's like new in the box. Map pricing for these is $150. And we're going to do this one at $112 like it is. $137 sharpened. That's the pair 3 lightweight blue Spy 27. Next up, we have the old pair of blue jeans for tonight. It's a Spyderco. It's a paramilitary too. It's got black G10. It's got all of its original parts. It's got an S30V blade. It has 0 blade play. It's got a free dropping blade with a little bit of stick. It just needs to be used. It's got perfect centering. It's like new in box. Now the new ones, the new plain Jane pair 2 is S45VN, which isn't as good a steel as S30V. They're $185 web retail. Let's do this at $130 like it is. $155 with an ApostleP edge. And this is in your inventory as Spyderco Pair 2 PJ OG. Next up, our second Protech in tonight's sale in the beautiful new box with the baggie and the drawstring on and stuff. Whoops. This is the 3436 Newport. Man, what a cool little knife. Why don't they make them left-handed? I'd own one. Look at the gorgeous handle. Black hard anodized with the wave mill pattern. Kind of a nautical theme because the button has a mother of pearl inlay. You got a long right hand tip up deep carry paper clip in black. It's a button lock auto that opens like a Protech. Horizontal satin flats showing off the S35 etch for the steel type designation. Then kind of stone-washed primary bevel and swedge. Rock solid lockup. Perfect Protech centering and action. Condition, like new in the box. These are out of stock. When they were available, web retail was $200. Let's do $165 on this one. $190 with an ApostleP edge. The Protech 3436 Newport. Next up, it's a Benchmade. It's a 940-1 Osborne. I gotta look. Just making sure. Okay, here we go. Carbon fiber scales, blue hard anodized aluminum standoffs. This is wearing a titanium deep carry clip. The original Parkerized Emerson style clip is in the box. Frankly, I think that looks ridiculous, but you guys might like it. Is that an MXG? I forget. Blade is beautiful, and it's got a very nice user applied polished edge. Blade steel is, of course, S90V. I'm not going to give you a sharpened price because this is totally squared away. Lockup is perfect. Free dropping blade. Centering is very close to perfect, if not perfect. Let's see. Man, map pricing on this model has crept up to $315. So you got a $20 clip. You have a $30 sharpening job, if I did it, but I didn't do it. But it's pretty good. So yeah, this guy's got about $350 in this knife. It can be yours. No need to sharpen. Shipped, priority mail, $245. And a nice example. Benchmade, 940-1 Osborne. Next up, we have reached the rarefied air portion of tonight's sale. How can that be? It's just a blue class Benchmade, but it's the 781 Anthem. I love these knives because you guys totally slept on them when they were available. You slept on them. Oh, it can't be worth $400. It's a Benchmade, really? Well, I'll just tell you this right now. Sold listings on eBay range between $510 and $899. Look it up. Integral titanium handle with a beautiful hard anodized coating in kind of a beige. It's just beautiful. You got the milled titanium clip, ambidextrous tip up. And notice the screws in the back of the integral titanium handle. Those house a coil spring cartridge axis lock. So cool. And ball bearing pivot in the integral titanium handle. 20 CV blade, a bespoke thumb stud that matches the axis ends. Blade length is 3.5, the handle's 4.5. Lockup is rock solid, of course. The action is free and smooth. The centering on this one is perfect. It's near mint to like new in box. There's a Lynch deep carry clip in the box, but why would you use it? I don't know. So, sold listings on eBay between $510 and $899. This is a superb example, near mint to like new in box. $570 is your price. $600 with my edge on it. That's the Benchmade 781 Anthem. Next up, let's see what we got here. It's a Hogue. It's a Deca, and the original blue FRN scales are going to be included. No box, but I do have the pouch. So this is the Hogue Deca Warncliffe plus custom scales, and these are aluminum in the buff by Goat, G-O-A-T. Pretty cool, I think. They look great on here. It is wearing the factory clip, deep carry. Ooh, if you're wearing the goat scales, it's going to be right hand only, but I believe the factory scales are ambidextrous. What's interesting about this knife is that the blade steel is CPM MagnaCut. Alan Lishowitz designed kind of a nightmare grind-ish. The neat thing about this is it's a stylized blade, but it works like a normal blade. The Able lock, perfect lockup. Not quite a free dropper. Could probably make it a free dropper. There's zero blade play. Centering is dead. Condition is going to be near mint in box just because of the scale swap. So I can't find any blue ones in stock, but the black handle ones are $135 web retail. The scale set was $60. So that would be what, $195. Let's do this at $130 like it is, $160 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Hogue, Deca, Warncliffe plus custom scales in MagnaCut. That brings us to the last knife in tonight's sale. It is a Civivi. It comes with a pouch, no box. Let's see, does it have its goodies inside? Yep. Cloth, baggy stickers, you know. It is the Appalachian Drifter 2. It's got snakeskin micarta scales. It's got carbon fiber bolsters. Got a deep carry right hand tip up clip. It's a front flipper on ball bearings. It has a beautiful little clip point blade. Swedge, fuller, high hollow grind, S35 VN blade. It's a stainless steel liner lock on bearings. 2 15/16 inch blade, 3 7/8 handle. And it's a front flipper. I can't do them. I think it's the most ridiculous deployment method in the history of pocket knives, but anyway, that's just me. Probably because I can't do them. It is like new in the box. It's got perfect lockup. It's got perfect centering. It's got perfect action, even though it's got a silly deployment method. Anyway, you're going to pay $93 for one of these if you buy one new from your favorite online retailer, or just buy this one like new in pouch. $70 like it is, $95 with an Apostle P edge. The Civivi Appalachian Drifter. Duh. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the Apostle P channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Now have at her, boys.